Rose, the LA probate expert, and this is our weekly real estate investing Zoom at realestateinvestingzoom.com. We get together every week on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific time, to talk all things real estate investment. We get students, first-time investors, experienced investors, professionals, vendors, all talking about how to invest in real estate and making more income and building more wealth. There's a number of different programs that I refer people to, but I don't really sell a coaching program. I don't really have any coaching system. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay, so I think I have good audio. So if you can't hear me, I think it's on your end. It's Maria. We get together and try to help people learn how to make more money and build wealth through real estate. This is an outgrowth of a call I used to go to weekly in Van Nuys at the Sizzler, and on Wednesdays. And then when COVID hit, we went online, and I started to do the calls, a way to meet and share information and prospect together. And it built up to where we get on this call anywhere from 30, 40, 50 people, and we live stream it. We also put it onto YouTube and Facebook and such. And so I try to give people an opportunity to learn different ways to make money in real estate and to build wealth. One way that I've used most recently is what are called turnkey rentals. So for me, I run a business. I'm a real estate broker in Los Angeles. I'm building a national team. I have agents working for me in Georgia now, in several counties here in California. We're expanding out. But I run a full-time business. I don't have time to really go out and work with vendors on properties. And I really don't want to invest more in LA. I really like to hedge my bet a bit, and also looking to move to Florida maybe a few years from now. So I'd like to invest in Florida real estate. And there are companies that specialize in helping you buy the property and manage the property, whether it be finding tenants or renting it up or whatever. And so one of the companies I came across is Martel Turnkey, really one of the leaders in the space. And I had a chance to meet with them one-on-one at length. And I asked him if he would come on our call today to share with you guys kind of what they do and how they help investors invest in real estate and do it into an efficient way through the turnkey rental concept. So Antoine, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Again, sorry for the background noise. We have a construction project going on here. When COVID started, my wife decided to retile the house, and then they did it poorly. And so here they came back at no cost to fix it. Of course, the only cost was driving me crazy for the last week and the next 2 weeks. But so if you hear some bang in the background, that's what's going on. So Antoine, just real quick, a little background on you. Tell me about where you grew up, how you started, and how did you get into real estate?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Antoine Martel. I was born in Toronto, grew up in San Francisco. While I was in San Francisco, I kind of went to a real estate seminar, learned about real estate investing. And from there, that was in 2015. From there, I just became addicted to real estate investing. So much so that about a year before I graduated from college, I started doing a ton more research on how I can make real estate investing my full-time thing instead of going and working for somebody else after graduating. And I tried flipping houses in California. That was very challenging. I started looking at wholesaling, buying rentals in the middle of California. And that was also very, very challenging. Took a ton of capital, ton of time. And it was really, really hard to find deals that made any financial sense, especially because, my family and I had like 40, 50 grand to spend on this investment. So flipping a house in LA or buying a rental in Bakersfield was kind of, even that was kind of out of the question. So then we're like, all right, where can we invest in real estate for $50,000? I started going to networking events, going on.
That's facts.
I started going to networking events, networking with people that were investing in real estate, and started picking their brains. How did you have success in real estate? I went on Bigger Pockets. I networked. While I was in college, I moved all my classes from 5 to 10 p.m. so that throughout the day I could network and cold call people and just have phone conversations with people throughout the day. And from those 200 coffee meetings and phone calls that I had, I learned that out of state was going to be the way to go for my family and I. Houses were way more affordable, ton more inventory, and especially with our $50,000 budget, that was going to be the best route for us to go down. So a couple months before graduating from college in 2017, bought that first rental property in Memphis, Tennessee. Just found it on Zillow, called the realtor that was listing it, made an offer, 35,000 bucks, got the offer accepted. He had a rehab, he had a construction team to do a $5,000 renovation. He was a listing agent, and then he also owned a property management company. He was like the youngest broker owner in the country at the time, at like 23 years old. So we were about the same age, and he was in Memphis, I was in LA, and this is the thing that I want to do. So ended up closing on that house, bought it for 35K, renovated for 5,000 bucks, and it was worth like 55,000 bucks after. Then he connected me with a local credit union, used that local credit union to a cash out refinance. And then after that, I graduated from college a couple weeks later and went to my family and was like, hey, all right, I can either go get a job or I can keep trying to do this real estate thing.
Okay, so we have a few jokers. This is really funny.
I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
So yeah, just then I was like, all right, this is the way for me to go. And I went to my family and said, hey, I want to do this after graduating. I don't want to go and get a job with somebody else. And they agreed, and were willing to cover my living expenses, which was very low at the time, for me to just figure this thing out for the next 6 months. So graduated in 2017 May, and by December had about 8 single family houses in Memphis. And then from there, my family and I had kind of ran out of cash to be able to keep buying these rentals, because they are cash intensive, even at the lower price tags. And then friends and family started reaching out to us and saying, hey, what the hell are you guys doing buying houses in Memphis, Tennessee, or, wherever? How are you guys doing this? How could we get involved? We want to invest in real estate, but LA or San Francisco is just way, way too expensive. So then that's when the idea for Martel Turnkey came about, because we started then selling houses that we own to friends and family, helping them get financing, insurance, connecting them with the property manager. And that's kind of where it all began. 2018, January was when we sold our first one. Now we're in 2022, and we've done over 500 single family houses so far. Oh, not just single family, but 500 projects so far. We're buying and selling anything from 20 to 30 houses a month in 6 different markets across the country.
So real active. And what does the typical investor in your program look like? You started with friends and family, it sounds like, but what does it look like today?
Yeah, it's very, very similar to what it looked like at the beginning. It's really young professionals, or I don't know, I would say anybody from 20 years old all the way up to 60 years old that has a W-2 income, has $20,000 to $30,000 cash in the bank, credit score over 680, and wants to invest and diversify into real estate, and just doesn't have the time to like go out and figure out wholesaling, or doesn't want to do fix and flips because they, have a family, or they just don't want to dedicate that amount of time, or they can't because their day job, is at the prime time when they need to be out there in the field, making offers and stuff.
Okay, so we have somebody who's having fun with this. I'm going to do this. Antoine, I'm going to make you a co-host.
Yeah, because I know where he is. I can boot him out.
Yeah, but they keep jumping in and out. They're getting a little smarter. I'm going to make you a co-host.
If you want to make me a co-host, I can help you as well.
Well, I have Jess on. So, Antoine, go ahead. I made you co-host, and I'm going to unmute everybody, and then unmute yourself when we're done.
Okay.
Okay. So, good. You're muted. I'm unmuted, and that should be it.
Cool.
And the rest should all. I took away the permission. Can you sound check, Antoine?
Yep, I can.
Good. Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Yeah. So everybody else is muted, and then what we'll do is, if you have questions, you'll just raise your hand, and we'll answer questions that way. And I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, so you're talking about your business. I wanted to share your screen and show this is on your website with the markets you service. So currently, you're selling properties in Memphis, Cleveland, St. Louis, and Detroit. It looks like.
Correct. Yep, so and then we're testing out. Those are our biggest markets right now, and then we're testing out some other markets too right now, like Cincinnati, Dayton, places in Indiana, Chicago area. So yeah, that's where we are now. But yeah, we have a couple more cities coming soon.
Cincy is red hot. Look at it. Somebody actually has the controls.
Wow, how do they do that?
Isn't that something?
They're pretty. This is their full-time gig.
You know, if they put this creativity into doing something productive, they actually make a living instead of
Yeah, really.
playing around. Okay,
That's
so
pretty good.
I guess. So again, so you're looking in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is red hot with sports. What is it in common about these four and the ones you're looking to add?
What's like the most the through line through all those?
What do you
markets?
think? Yeah.
I think probably just the price tag. So like there's a rule of thumb that I have, which is properties that are below $150,000 have a high likelihood of cash flowing. So we like to focus on anything below 150K. So when we go to these markets, we look at the median home price, the median rents. We try to figure out if that city as a whole is going to be like a cash flowing city. If that whole city is going to be, cash flow positive. So we can go in and there's a ton of inventory available. Obviously inventory has tightened up, but all of these cities, we're selling houses today way below, not way below, but below 150K. Detroit's getting up there now. Cleveland's getting up there now. Actually, all four of these, Memphis and St. Louis as well, have kind of really gone crazy over the last 12, 24 months. But I think the rent to value ratios, and then also just the average purchase prices below 150K has made them very attractive.
Got it. So we got one question from Sharian. She asks, what's the average ROI on your investments and how long do you have to be in the investment?
Yeah. So our average ROI for the properties that we have for sale is around 10%. So let's say buy a house for $100,000, you put $20,000 down, $3,000 in closing costs and other expenses. So you're all in for $23,000. Then that property will make a net cash flow of anything from like $200 to $300, which gets you right around the 10-11% cash on cash return range.
So I'm sorry, one more time. I'm sitting here playing around with these people on the door. So the average ROI, you would say cash on cash again is how much to start with?
Is 10%.
10%. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And obviously then they can sell property, but it depends on when they have. Oh, look at that, Sean P. So now this guy got really smart and he is, oh, look at that. They're using names of people who are in already. I have to admire the gamemanship of this thing. It's like, why would they waste their time with it? But I guess it's a big fun thing. Okay, so 10% cash on cash, and then obviously you hold the property over time. Mortgage goes down, house appreciates, and you make money. Who knows where it is in the future? But real estate's gone up almost continuously, other than the period of 2008 and so on. So that makes sense. I was in one multifamily where it's a lower cash on cash rate, but it's more diversified. So in your case, you're talking about one property for 10% cash return. Do you find investors buying multiple properties at one time or to diversify, or is that a bigger chunk than people start off with?
Yeah. So, most people start off with one. I recommend them even two. I'm like, hey, test out this turnkey thing, buy a house, buy two houses, test it out, get comfortable with the team, the process, all that kind of stuff before if you have $100,000, you want to invest, start off with 20, 30,000 bucks, test it out. And then if you like it, you like the experience, then you can continue buying that's normally what I recommend. Multifamily, I've done a bunch of multifamily as well. I had like about 100 units that I've bought and sold in the last 2 years. And multifamily is just crazy expensive right now. People are way overpaying. It's super, I don't know. People are willing to overpay for multifamily for some reason. The super low cap rates, and I can get way, way better returns with the single family home side right now.
So looking on your website, for example, in Memphis, I'm going to just share this real quick and kind of walk through a property. So, for example, the second one over, $144,500 is the purchase price. You're going to put down $33,000. That's your down payment plus your closing costs, I presume.
Yep.
And so you expect a 10% return, so you get about $3,300 a year the first year.
Correct.
A little under $300 a month. And over time, you're hoping that property goes up 3, 4, 5% per year. The mortgage is getting paid off a little bit. You're getting some tax benefits. Are you doing renovations on these? They're buying into them, or is this, so is there any kind of a tax advantage when they're buying the property, or they're already fully up and renovated by the time
the property's already fully up and renovated. So what we've had some of our clients do is do like what's it called? A cost segregation study on the properties. So like $145,000 house, you may get like a $15,000 right off the bat if you do a cost segregation study. And it costs like $500 to do the study. So it's relatively cheap. And then you can, take $15K off your tax bill. So it's kind of nice. That's what we've had some of our clients do.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, another hand up, Justin Tucker. What do you got? I have to unmute you, I guess. Unmute.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you mentioned that you oftentimes look at markets to see if there's money flowing. What kind of indicators give you a good, what do you look for a market that's going to work well for you and for what you're trying to do?
Yeah, something that I like to do is kind of just go on Zillow, go on Redfin, open up a market on Zillow, and then just go and literally just set up the filters as like my buying criteria. So anything, 2 bedrooms or greater, 1 bathroom or greater, purchase price below 150K, and then go to random cities. Go to Cleveland, you'll be like, oh wow, there's 500 listings available. You go to Detroit, there's 1,000 deals available. You go to LA, there's 0. You go to Louisville, Kentucky, there's 20. And so it just gives you a kind of a sense of those markets, if they're going to be a place where you can go. And because also like I'm looking at a market to go and do deals at scale, right? So I don't want to go and add a market to do like a deal a quarter or a deal a month. Like I need to be able to do 10, 20 houses every single month is what I'd like to do. So does the market have that available inventory for me to be able to scale up in that way? So that's kind of how I look at it. And then from there, once I pinpoint a market, now it's like, okay, cool. Now start running numbers on those deals. Do the deals make sense? Then after that, it's about building a team, setting up that team on the ground, testing them out before we start offering that market to our clients.
Great. Sean Burr has his hand up. Let me see if I can figure out how to unmute him and lower his hand. Go ahead, Sean.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I didn't type that stuff, and I'm sure you guys know that. B, I don't know if I missed it, but how does the investment portion of it work? Do you buy a share, or are you buying the entire property?
Yeah, you're buying the entire property from me, and then I'm helping you get financing to buy the property from me.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So the property, for example, I point out on Powell Avenue, you have the pro forma is based on, it looks like a 20% down loan with 4.5% interest rate. So that sounds like a pretty current rate today, right? It was
yeah.
3.5.
We're constantly updating it. Every quarter we update it. It's been crazy. We're even going to update it this week too, to increase it a little bit because the rates are going up.
How has the rates, have you seen an immediate impact on demand, or is it impacting demand at all, or what do you see going on?
No impact on demand yet. There's been some people that have been under contract, on a property, and then the rate lock expires just due to construction delays or whatever delays, and they had to increase the rate. So it went from 4.5% to 4.75, for example. So some people are just backed out due to that, or we had to give a reduction to make it make sense for everybody. So, but no, I haven't seen any kind of decrease in demand. Maybe once we start getting into the 5.5s or 6s, we might start seeing that, because people will hope that it goes back down, but we're not seeing those rates again. So
I saw the MBA, Mortgage Bank Association, said that purchase applications were down about 12%, which, 12% from a lot is still a lot. It's a little bit less, but that's kind of how it feels. The market still feels pretty intense.
Yeah, for sure.
David, I see your hand up. How can we help you? Let's unmute you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, thanks for having me.
Sure.
And Antonio, is it Antoine?
Antoine, yep.
Antoine, I'm just curious, during your acquisition, when you're buying properties out of state,
Yep.
I'm just curious, about like inspections, like, because before you pull the trigger, I mean, like, do you have boots on the ground there, or how do you get
Yeah,
that?
for sure. A lot of boots on the ground. So we have inspectors, property managers. Now we have like project managers as well that manage all the GCs. And then normally in our biggest market, we have 25 GCs. In our smallest market, we have 2 GCs. And then we have a project manager that we hire that kind of talks to those GCs, manages those projects, get paid a fee to manage those projects. So when we make an offer in a house, it's normally the realtor, inspector, and project manager that all go through the realtor, inspector, project manager, and contractor that normally all go through the house together in 1 to 2 days. Then we wait, get the bid back, get the inspection back, make sure everything is good, and then we close.
Okay, so you just, I mean, like when you like right now you're speculating on new markets, so you just like start just slamming the phones, finding a team and putting it together. Just,
Yes, sir.
this is only one way to do it, right?
There's no magic sauce. Yeah,
Okay.
there's no magic. There's
Okay.
no magic formula to it. It's really like choosing a market. For me, choosing a market that has a ton of inventory where I can go buy deals at scale. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Found that, right? You go pull up Detroit right now. There's like 1,100 deals available
Hmm.
that are below 150K. I'm sure if you could spend the next, year just making offers on all the current inventory, not even including past deals. And sure, yeah, they may be listed for 50K and maybe you need to buy them for 25K, but you're persistent enough, you can get that deal locked away for 25K versus 50K. Then
Okay.
the next step is just building the team out and testing them slowly, and then having the cash to be able to test the team. And now we're, luckily in a position where we are able to test 5 cities at a time. Whereas before it was, very tight on cash where we could only test 1 deal in 1 market. And then we were kind of like, because it takes, even for us, like it takes a full 6 months to get a team from that first deal under contract to now like buying houses every single month. It takes time.
Right. Especially
Yep.
when you're dealing with realtors.
Yeah.
You're buying on market properties. You're not buying off market properties, right?
We do both. So I also have a wholesaling company too. So we get our own like in-house deals under contract as well. So little bit of both, but I would say even like today in a lot of our markets, 70% of the stuff we buy is right off MLS.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
It's just speed and efficiency on the ground. That's it.
Mhm. Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
Right. So when people buy property, they're getting title in their own name. It's a regular purchase.
Yep.
The property manager's collecting money in rent. Is that something they work out with the property management? Meaning, here's the checking account, make the deposits here, write the checks out of here, that kind of thing, or how does that fit?
Yeah, exactly. So like when somebody puts a house under contract on our website, they will connect them with property manager. And then they have like 30 days to get onboarded with the property management portal, set up their bank account. The property management company collects the rent from the tenant. They take away their fee, which is 10%. They pay all maintenance bills or utilities or whatever is due. And then they, on the 15th of the month, deposit that in the client's account.
Got it. So it's just like buying a house. It's just that you've picked one that you're making it available for me to see. You're putting the numbers up there that are available. Like this property again is currently occupied. There's a tenant in there who just moved in January 7th. He's got a lease for the next year. Pays on utilities. You can, today, assuming this was still available, write check $33,000. You own the property. That's the current market rent. You're estimating is 4.5%.
Yep.
And so they're going to get, they're paying $1,050. That's the current actual rents.
Yep.
And they're going to get a cap rate of 7%, cash return 10%, or $265 per month, depending on how the property management is set up. And
exactly. So yeah, 33K all in to make $265 a month. And then that one's been fully renovated. There's even a renovations completed tab on the bottom, just right below. And that shows you all the renovations that were made. This one obviously doesn't have that much. Oh, new hot water tank, updated HVAC. But there's other properties that we do. This one seems pretty light, but there's other ones we do that are like, we can go sell it to a homeowner instead, but we prefer to just put them all tenants and stuff like that.
Got it. Investment terms. So you have a purchase agreement with $1,000, and then which is accepted, you wire the money in, and then you have contingencies like any other transaction. So theoretically, you could fly out to Memphis and look at this property in person, or I guess the property manager or agent will go through with a video camera maybe and walk you through it that way.
Yeah, well, we recommend them all going and getting like third-party inspections done. So normally they have like an appraisal contingency and an inspection contingency, and that's what we normally tell our clients to go and do. Get the inspection back, and then we review the inspection report with them. They come up with some stuff that they don't like on it, we fix it, and then normally we just wait on the appraisal. The appraisal comes back good most of the time, 90% of the time, and then we just close.
What's the process typically for people who decide they want to invest with you? They call you, they work with you, have a sales team. How involved is that? What's the process look like?
Yeah, so I have a full sales team. So I have a couple people on my sales team. So people can go to the website. There's a little button, contact us, and then that opens up a calendar. People can go book phone calls with my sales team there, chat with them, ask them questions. They can even like recommend properties because they know the markets pretty well. I require them to all go and visit. So I do little tours for all of them as well. So if you click, that's our team, and then contact us. Yep. Then there's a schedule a phone call. And then that brings up a little portal where you can book one of my salespeople if you have any preference or maybe availability or whatnot. And then you can book a phone call with one of them and chat.
Got it. And you guys do have a team, right? This is,
Yep.
A couple have suspiciously the same last name as you.
I know, it's very weird. I don't know how we met. But yeah, it's turned into a family business. So I was the first one to start it up and be full-time on the business right out of college. Then my brother was a realtor. He left being a realtor to help me with acquisitions. Then my dad quit his job, which was huge. He was 25 years project management in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. He quit that to join the company full-time, which helped a ton. And then my mom too, she was working at a wine store and didn't want to be on her feet all day anymore. So now she's doing sales.
Mom, how's mom doing? Mom meet her quota?
She's good. Yeah, she's good. She's a little low, but we'll get her.
Sorry, Mom, you're too short this month. I gotta let you go.
Yeah, go back to your wine store job.
Want to be there at Christmas after that, huh?
Yeah, really.
So what are your goals as a company? You've really built a really nice business here. I have to tell you, I've researched the space personally. As I mentioned, my only hang up is I want to be in Florida and you guys aren't there. The numbers don't make sense for your model. So I see that. But if it's just about cash flow, you guys are in some great Midwest markets in particular. You built a great business. You got mom and dad and a brother working with you. What's your goal? What do you think you're going to be 3-5 years from now?
Hopefully the goal is really to be up to like 100 houses a month and then more markets. We recently got a line of credit from like a small family office. So we figured out our whole acquisitions, the funding strategy, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really just scale up what we're doing. Again, we're doing 20, 30 a month right now, but the goal is how do I get it to 100 or 200 houses a month? And the answer is really just time and adding more markets. That's really it. And just making sure that we guide the ship in the right direction and keep hiring right and just continuously keep scaling.
Do you have any more family members you don't have yet? Or is that
no,
over?
not yet. Not yet.
That well's done.
Yeah. I tapped it all out. So I hired, and then a couple other people on there were like my best friends growing up, like their girlfriends, and a couple kids from some of my friends from college too that I just really enjoyed, and they hated their jobs, so I offered them jobs at Martel Turnkey as well.
Nice. Come on, Mom, I need your help. Lunch in a company cafeteria, maybe also. Question from Stephanie: what third-party inspector do you work with? I imagine each market you have a different inspector, or you
multiple. We'll normally send an email with like 2 or 3 inspectors we recommend that we use. Hey, go talk to one of these inspectors, and you can choose which inspector you want to work with. Some people even like do their own research, find another inspector. We just have a couple that are like show up on time and are like, know how to use an email and stuff like that. So those are why we choose certain people that on our list.
How about lenders? Do you have particular lenders that you favor? Diverse in each market? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so lenders, we have 2 to 3 lenders that we work with. We even have some, unique lenders that we talk to and work with as well. for people that don't have W-2 income, have low credit score, how can you still buy rental properties? So we have like probably like 4 or 5 different lenders we work with. We really use like 2 of them heavily. The other 3 are for like, case by case basis. So yeah, normally when a property is put under contract, depending on the market, depending on the purchase price, our team will connect you with the right lender based on your situation, the purchase price, and all that good stuff.
Got it. It looks like Avram Gordon, a good friend of mine, also a out-of-state investor, has a question regarding operating income. Avram, go ahead, and I think you have
So my hat's off to you, because I'm trying to do what you are doing quite well, and I'm running up against a lot of issues getting started.
Yeah.
One of them, I noticed that you flashed up on an offer, a property, a single family house you were marketing for 144,
Yeah.
a monthly rental income of 1,050. With my pencil says that loses money.
Well, I think you might need to sharpen your pencil, because
That's my question.
if you click download financials, so the property does make money. It makes $265 a month. So you have $1,050 a month in current rent. Then all you have is taxes, insurance, property management, debt service, and that's how we're getting the $265.
So you're not counting in operation, repair and maintenance.
Say that again.
You're not factoring in operation. You're not repair and maintenance. And what are you
No.
using for management costs?
Management cost is 10. I think this is 10%.
Yeah. And no repair and maintenance.
This does not include repairs and maintenance.
Okay.
Everybody has their own rules that they put in for.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just leave it out, and I say you can do whatever the hell you want for your repair and maintenance to make it make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can even, if you want, go on the website, click download financials, and then you can fill out the little
And then
form.
I can see it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can see it, and you can play around with the numbers.
Okay. What's your site?
Say it again.
What is your site?
MartelTurnkey.com.
Got it. Thanks.
You got it.
So I think actually I did. I was getting email to me. So yeah,
Yeah.
MartelTurnkey.com is the website. I did this before and looked at a couple properties, and
Yeah.
like I said, I love the concept. I love what you guys have done. I think you're really transparent. My only challenge is the market, just because I am a real estate broker and I do want to kind of move my business there over time. But otherwise, good. Other questions? Here we have a guy who's really, built a business that a lot of you have looked at or talked about wanting to do. Here's guys actually done it. Any of the last questions? Will we have him? I really appreciate his time. No?
If we have people interested in vacation rentals, short term, do you have any availability for contracts like that?
I don't touch those at all. Never done it.
It's so interesting, Antoine, that I find that people who are really successful are very focused on one thing and just doing that really well. I know for me, real estate, I'm a listing agent. I list legal and probate real estate.
Yeah.
And I try to stay out of the rest and people make a lot of money on those other things, and good for them.
Yeah.
But I make good money at what I do and try to focus on
exactly.
that, so.
Yeah, I think that's what different, you can be a master of everything and go off into. I think that's one of the problems, one of the challenges with real estate. There's so many options. There's like too many damn things you can do. Right. You can buy apartment buildings, you can flip apartment buildings, you can do Section 8 rentals, you can do houses in good neighborhoods, houses in rough neighborhood, and then you have all the cities. So now you got 250 cities on top of all those 12 different ways you can invest. Okay, cool. Now you got 3,000 options about what you can so I'm just like, all right, this is my bread and butter. I built a CRM around it. Sure. Could I figure out Airbnb? Absolutely. But it's going to take away from something that's currently working. So would I rather spend that time buying another 10 houses a month and growing the business, or, doing something else? Right. So yeah, I've been very focused for the last 5 years.
Me too. I get approached all the time with different niches and different add-on programs. And if you just do this, you'll make some add-on money. It's like, I'm doing pretty good. I'm returning phone calls, keeping up with my leads I have already. So, but thank you. I appreciate the attention.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good. Any other questions for Antoine on turnkey rentals in particular out of state? Anybody have any last questions for him? So it's martelturnkey.com. We'll have the link in our description. And Antoine, I just really appreciate, I know you and I had a chance to chat individually as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I appreciate you sharing with everybody today, teaching a little bit about turnkey rentals. And if you guys have questions, go on the website, book an appointment with their salespeople, and get started. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time here, Antoine.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Sure. So we do this every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we 6 p.m. Eastern time. We also live stream it, YouTube and Facebook, and we record it and send it out. So love to have you on realestateinvestingzoom.com. Watch for some changes to security because we're having some problems here with the people jumping in and having fun and distracting us along the way. We don't want that to happen. But all that said, I appreciate you. I'm Bill Gross. Thank you so much for your time today. If I can help you, call, text, email, and look forward to making this week your best week ever.